What up, though? Just woke up. I was tired. Sold the fridge. I got up this morning. Sold the fridge. Had a customer call me early. Said his washer wasn't working right. I had to get up and deal with that. You know what he said? He said his washer is leaking. I was like, what happened? He said, I don't know, but there's suds. There's suds. There's suds coming out of the bottom of my washer. There are suds. And I said, suds. He said, suds. Yeah, so turned out that his woman put a little bit too much fabric softener in the fabric softener cup. And what happened was it spilled over. So yeah. And yeah, and there were suds everywhere. And he didn't understand, you know, what happened. So I had to go through all these diagnostics and turn this and do that and look here and look at that and what up? And so we had to look at the, you know, I had to have him, you know, turn it off, turn it on, run it, rinse it, dry it, rinse it, find it, rinse it, until finally figured out it was the, you know, too much suds. That's what happened. Yeah, so if you guys are using fabric softener and you have a washer that has an agitator, the tall agitators, and you put the fabric softener at the top, if you do that, if you put too much fabric softener, what's going to happen is it's going to suds up, and being that it's a top loader, what happens is the tub that you have, that all the clothes are in, the fabric softener, the suds are going to suds up and spill over the tub, but you're not going to know that it's happening because the lid's closed. You're only going to see the suds at the bottom, so you think it's leaking from the bottom, but it's not. It's not. It's because you put too much fabric softener. And I tell anybody, listen, I don't use fabric softener, and the reason is, and if you're going to use fabric softener, only use a couple teaspoons. As a matter of fact, if you're going to use any detergent, only use a couple teaspoons of detergent. Don't put a lot in. Because what happens is the detergent, when it goes through the machine, it's washing, it's going through the machine, that detergent builds up a film on the outside of your tub, but you don't know that it's happening. Because remember, all the water's going through there, right? Well, it's hitting the side of the wall of the wash machine. So it's going through there, it's hitting the side of the wall, and then all the water comes down. Well, the soap stays there. And if you have a bunch of detergent and a bunch of fabric softener, it sticks to the wall. And next thing you know, your clothes are coming out dirty. And you can't figure out why. Well, that's why. Because it builds up and it builds up and it builds. Like any soapy film, it just keeps building up. And next thing you know, you have huge chunks of dirt coming out in your clothes. And the only way to fix that is you have to take the machine apart, take the whole tub out of it. You have to take the whole tub out, and then you have to clean the tub. You have to clean the inside of the where it sits at, and then you have to take the spanner out, and that is, You gotta get that bowl to loosen. If it's an older one, I think it's rusted. It's a headache. It's a headache. But you gotta take the spanner out and lift up the bottom of the spanner, especially if it's a washing machine that has a low agitator. Like the agitator comes up like this, but it doesn't come up like this. It's the lower one. You have to take the screw out of. You have to take the cap off, take the screw out of there, remove it. Then there's going to be another cap that's going to have 5 screws. Those screws are really hard to get out, but you have to take that out, and it lifts right out once you get it. And once you take that out, you look at the bottom, you'll find mold and gunk and soap and all that. It'll just be sitting there growing and growing and growing, and that's why your clothes are dirty. But it's a real headache to get rid of. Some people try to use, home remedies to get rid of it. You can't get rid of it. You have to take the washing machine apart to get rid of it. So you guys who are at home, you ladies, stop using fabric softener. And if you are going to use it, only use a little bit of it. You don't need a lot. If you're using Tide and Gain and stuff like that, don't take it and fill the cup up and then put it in. No, don't do that. Just use very little of it, and trust me, it'll work. So, and it also wouldn't help if, you guys did a little hand washing on some of your stuff too. Don't just think the machine's gonna do everything. So if you got some tough stains, it doesn't hurt if you have a little, and then you got that going on, that helps a lot. Also, do not overload your washing machine. Some of you guys are doing this, and you know what's happening? You wear out the bearings. So if your washing machine is going, it's washing, and then it starts and then it goes into rinse, right? Rinse, and then it drains, and then it goes into the drain spin. After that, one of the last steps, and so it spins. And then it picks up speed, it hits its third gear, and if it sounds like a jet engine, then your bearings are you're finished. Look, it's bad. It's real bad. And what's gonna happen? I have a washer downstairs right now. What happened is these people, and it's one of the big old the ones that you load from the side. What happened is these people overloaded it, and those washers spin really, really fast. But the way that the washer hangs, it doesn't. Since it's not top loaded, it's side loaded. So if you put that weight on it, it's pulling, constantly pulling down. And if you have a lot of weight just in it, it's gonna just get off balance. And eventually wish I had an example. So let me show you what you're dealing with, because it's gonna cost you about $300 to fix. You're dealing with these, but they're bigger. So these rings are sitting in your washer, but the ones that are in your washer are about that big. And there's 2 of them. There's one right where the tub meets, and there's one after it. And this is what you're hearing if it sounds really, really loud. These are going bad. There are little balls in between here. There are little balls in there. And what's happening is this can no longer spin freely. See, this spins. This is spinning. That's because there's little balls on the inside of it. But like I said, the one that's in your washer is about that big. And what happens is once those balls can't spin anymore, it blows out this whole ring. The cost for one of these, or the cost for the set is about $135. That's just for the set. The cost to do the whole job, if you go through Sears, about $400. You go through me, about $250. How long does it take? About 2 hours. So you guys need to love your washing machines. I'm warning you. Love your washing machines. Show your washing machines some TLC. I know it's a machine, but it will break down on you. It will cost you money if you're not careful with your washing machines and your dryers, but especially your washing machines, because there's more mechanics in the washing machine. All right, so there's that. So as far as the refrigerator I sold, I had that refrigerator for almost a year, and I finally sold it. Finally. So the refrigerator was a KitchenAid. It was a nice one too. It's a really nice KitchenAid. KitchenAid is made by Whirlpool. So if you have a Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Whirlpool are the same. But KitchenAids have different handles than Whirlpools, but they're the same manufacturer. Anyway, so it was a KitchenAid. I got it for $150. I sold it for $400. That was cool. The people came here, they picked it up in a U-Haul, and they hauled it away. You know, I showed them how to run diagnostics on it. They didn't care. Well, they did care, but, you know, they're not going to touch that. So I showed them how to turn the temperature up and down. And, you know, if there's an error code, I went into that. But, you know, most people, they got other things to do. They're not really going to mess with it like that. But they were lovely people. Lovely people. And they went ahead and said, we'll take it. You know, I had brought it from my storage unit up here to my house because it had an error code that I didn't like, and I found out how to get rid of the error code. It was because of the ice maker or something. So I found out how to get rid of it. I went through the codes, boom, got rid of it, and, you know, I told them that's what I did, so I wasn't hiding anything. And, you know, when they saw it, it was all, you know, hunky-dory. And they were like, yeah, we're in. So I think they got it for their son. And now they want to buy other stuff from me. So that's what happens when you give good customer service. Also, I put a big thing of water in the freezer just to show that it will freeze solid. So that helped. I didn't just put a bottle of water in there and say, hey, it'll freeze water. I put a big tub of water in there and it froze it solid. So I also told them, look, this is going to freeze. Probably within an hour, it's going to freeze your stuff. I showed them where the air goes and how the air flows, and, you know, just a little bit, you know, I go into it a little bit because, you know, it's kind of my thing, you know, kind of like it. And, yeah, you know, I didn't get into the compressor and, you know, too deep. I didn't go too deep, you know, you don't need to do all that. You just need to tell people, hey, this is, you know, the functionality. And yeah, it was my newest one. Well, one of my newest ones. So I got 2 more to sell that I've been holding on to for a while. And yeah, so that's cool. Made a little money. Gonna go ahead and buy some Bitcoin. Nobody's here anyway. Everybody's gone. You know, you guys, thanks for stopping by. Gonna buy some, yeah, I'm gonna take that and buy some Bitcoin. Nobody's here. Nobody's here. But nobody's here. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. Yeah, so put it in the bank. And I'm gonna buy some Bitcoin. I bought some Bitcoin yesterday. I Bitcoined. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. Is it going up or down? Bitcoin is nobody's here anyway, man. Bitcoin is vacillating. That's cool. So if you guys got any money, buy some Bitcoin. So